still some people who aren't able to complete it. I think a lot of those are technical issues, though. I don't know how much of it is just people not doing it. But that said, you guys are just all doing a really nice job, and I'm really excited. I think it's been a great first week. The one thing that I want to say about TA that is going to be different than what we usually do is I'm just based on this format, I can't really tell about your thinking work, just based on what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of flip the class. What I mean by that is we're going to start with going over any homework that you had, going over all the answers from someone who got them all correct, and then we'll do a brief lesson, and then I'll give you 15 minutes to complete the homework for the next day. That's what we're going to do every day, okay? Just so we have some of those thinking jobs down. Now, there was a problem in 7th grade with the Google Forms, like that you've turned them in and now you can't access them. That's not totally accurate. What you need to do is you need to go to your history on your browser. So go to your internet, go to history, and then it should say from yesterday, like 7th grade TA homework, and that will provide you with the questions and with your answers as well. So can I get a thumbs up as soon as people have done that? Go to history, see if that works. Thanks, Steph. Thanks, Lou. Thanks, Lydia. Thanks, Angelo. Thanks to Deb. Is that a thumbs up? Are you good? Awesome. Thanks, Deb. Quad, what's up, buddy?
I use incognito browser that deletes all my history once I leave the site, so I cannot access it.
Okay, that's totally fine, buddy. What I'm going to ask you to do in the future is there is an option on Google Forms that says save a copy of my responses and send it to me. That should be there every time you turn it in. So just hit that and then pick some email that you can get it from, or at the very least, like mine, so that I can see what you wrote, okay?
Yes.
That sound good, sir?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so, Hyra, Jalissa, you need me to repeat for you. All that we're doing right now is we're going to our browser, the thing that you go on the internet on. We're going to that that tab that says settings. It should be like either 3 dots on the right hand of the screen, or if you're on Internet Explorer, like it should say file. There is, and then go to history, and then it should pull up your Google form. If not, Miss Kindred can troubleshoot with you, and I can troubleshoot with you after I'm done teaching this. But Hyra, you got all of them. Hyra, you got all of them correct yesterday. Could you please go through your reasoning for 1 through 3, and then we'll talk a little bit about main ideas. We're still struggling a little bit on that. Hyra, go ahead.
My video's gonna be off for a while. Sorry.
No problem on that.
Where is it? Oh, where's my work? I cannot find it now.
Okay.
I just did it.
So the
Okay.
You got it?
No.
Okay. So I'll give you the answers to it. You explain to me the reasoning of it, all right?
Okay.
The answers that you had yesterday were, number 1 was a D, number 2 was B, number 3 was A.
Okay.
DBA. So please go through those for me. Thank you.
Okay, so for the first one, when it said which of the following conclusion is best supported by the passage, I picked D because they took the stone and the sword thing sign very seriously. They said that whoever took it out of the sword was the stone, gonna be king. So that was a mystical sign, and they took it very seriously. And it wasn't gonna be A because all the knights were trying to be king, and they're not a democracy, so it can't be B, C. It didn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's D. That's correct. Then for number 2, what did we have?
Which of the following conclusions is best supported by the passage? I picked B because what?
Sorry.
Okay. I picked B because at the end of the passage it talks about how Sir Ector took him because he knew that something special was gonna happen, so he was very destined to be king. And it wasn't gonna be A because the rightful heir is not Sir Kay. It wasn't gonna be C because even though he put it there, he shouldn't be able to take it out unless he was destined to be king. And it wasn't gonna be D either because Arthur didn't know that he was gonna be king, so that didn't make any sense. And then for B, according to the passage, why did Sir Ector raise Arthur? The same reasoning as I gave for 2. That's why it should be A. That if it were known that Arthur, as the heir to the throne, someone may have tried to kill him. So that's why Ector raised him in a peaceful place. Okay, I'm done.
So for these, one thing that I want to notice about Hira's practice there was that for each of these, she went into detail on both why the right answers were right and why the wrong answers were wrong. Now, a lot of us are getting, if we're getting 2s out of 3s, that's fine. If we're getting like 1s out of 3s or 0s out of 3s, we need to put forth a little more effort. Now, what Hira gave you is a process that you could always repeat. She went back to her annotation, she went back to her main idea, she went back to her drafts, and from that, she was able to pull some things that made her answers correct. Lydia did exactly the same thing on this, and there were a number of people that got 3s out of 3s. That's what I'm looking for on these ones, because you're all capable of it, and you've all been doing it for forever, and it makes you a better reader. Now, your homework is going to be very, very minimal. It's going to be 3 multiple choice questions and a main idea, just like last night. But here's what I want to say, looking at the homework from last night. A lot of us for the main idea are writing like 1 sentence. That's never been a thing. Just write the full main idea. Reason being is it gives you a greater understanding of the text. The problem with the general sentiment things, and I mean, I do it too myself sometimes, is that when you only have that vague cloud, the way your brain works is you start filling in information, and some of it might be factual into the text, and some of it might be just your own personal experience. Problem is when you bring in your own personal experience to the reading, and you're not specific in your annotations, you make the reading, you separate the meaning of the reading. The author doesn't know your personal experience, nor is the author expecting you to bring it in. That's why your annotations need to be specific, because then it is actually about what the author is asking. As you all know, we're 2 days away from the ELA state test. Ha ha ha, just kidding. But we would be if we were still in school. But we're not doing the ELA state test, obviously. But we do have a compare and contrast lesson. So we are going to together go through the first article on this, and then you'll do the second article for independent practice once I put the Google Forms up. What I want us to focus on this as we're going through nonfiction is just our basic thought processes of what the subject is, what the author's teaching us about the subject, what the point of view could be. So the first thing is Think Before You Act by Jesse Sinclair. Can everyone pull that up on their links or on whatever they have? Everyone pull that up. I need readers for this. I need readers. Please raise your hand if you want to be a reader and read the first paragraph for me, or first time until you get to a main idea. Please tell me. I need readers. I need them desperately. I desperately need readers. Lewis, I'm sending it to you right now, bud. You need the link. Kevin, you need the link. Kevin, you want to read? Yeah. Kevin, you can start us reading while I send everyone the link, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Start reading? Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Think before you act. There's been a lot of discussion lately about how we can go green. I'm all for a cleaner planet, but it seems that the younger generation is gung-ho on forcing unreasonable changes on the rest of us. What are they asking us to do? Sometimes expensive and often inconvenient. Everyone's just turning green because it's so cool. Just because certain celebrities have embraced the movement, young people think they should too. There's no real commitment, just a lot of hype. Wow, keep on reading?
Yeah, but we do have a point of view here that's clear, and we also have a subject that's pretty locked on. So what's the subject here, Kev?
Going green, or?
Yeah, like the green movement, the environmentalism movement. So what can we say then is what can we say after that is the point of view that we have here on that subject? Kevin, still with you.
That going green is just a lot of hype, or it's not?
Yeah, that many people aren't doing it really for the right reasons is what I would put up. That's what I would say. So we can tell that in the point of view. Who can give me some textual evidence to get that? What textual evidence do we have to support that? Lydia, you can really earn reading next if you can give me textual evidence to support what I said that point of view was. I will share my screen in just a second. Tyra, I see you. Yeah, what's up?
Can you show your text on the screen first?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now, Lydia. I've had enough of you.
Okay.
Danny, I'm coming to you next, so don't worry.
Also, you were glitching out when you pulled the POVs, so I'm gonna need you to repeat that as well.
That's fine. The POV that I had for this was that they think the movement is dead, but it's not real. Sorry. Okay. So there's the text. So what textual evidence supports that they think it's all hype and that it's not real? Lydia. What textual evidence supports the fact that they think it's all hype and that it's not real?
Oh, some textual evidence supports that it's all hype and not real. Is that because where it says everyone is just turning green because it's so cool. Just because certain celebrities have embraced the movement, young people think that they should too. Sure. There's no real commitment, just a lot of hype.
Okay, so now you can read.
Yeah, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
While we appreciate.
I said, yeah, buddy. That was all I said. Go ahead.
While we appreciate their enthusiasm, some of us resent being asked to go along with these idealistic schemes. For example, I don't think I should have to buy all these new low energy light bulbs. Those aren't cheap. The newest thing is to avoid using the dryer or dishwasher whenever possible. Now, who do you think hangs the clothes outside to dry instead of putting them in the dryer? It's usually the parent who ends up in the hot sun doing what a machine could do in half the time. Why don't some of these kids forget playing video games for 15 minutes to hang the laundry out?
Okay. How does this relate to our subject, Lydia?
This relates to our subject because it kind of adds on to how the kids aren't really taking it seriously. So they could be saving energy now, like for example, hanging out clothes to dry, but instead they'll just like use their time for other things that aren't really important.
Okay.
And also
Yeah,
and it
keep
also
going.
adds on to the idea. And it also adds on to the idea of how turning green isn't cheap.
Yeah, so there are reasons that people don't turn green, and some of them are economic. So let's have another reader just to finish this off. Who wants to be my last reader? What do we think? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Who wants to be my last reader? Now that I've muted Lydia, so I can just talk stuff about her. And oh, Danny said she wanted to read. Is Danny still here? Is Danny still alive? Is Danny still a thing? I don't see her. She might have been taken. They might have gotten her. Now I see her. Got her. Hello. Danny, read. I want to hear your lovely voice.
Paragraph are we on?
We are on paragraph 3 here. Paragraph 3.
As if.
What?
All right. As if that weren't enough, now we're being asked to cut back on driving. Our communities are built for driving, not walking or biking. We can't change that. Everyone else is driving all they want. Why shouldn't we? Environmentalist wants to force everyone to carpool. I say let them take a bus, blah blah, and let us drive in peace. If not, as if the tiny amount of gas we would save each week by carpooling would make a big dent in the energy problem.
Okay. So how does this relate to our subject of the green movement? Danny?
What?
How does it relate to our subject of like this green energy movement or this environmental movement?
He's saying that the thing that they're asking us to do, like stop driving, is not really making a big difference, and
Yep.
it's not making a big essential difference. And
Okay, so on these, what's happening is we get these initial thoughts. The first thoughts are that the green movement is sort of not accurate, that's not true. The second thought is that we could be doing things that actually make sense to reduce energy. The third argument that we have that Danny just put forward is just like the things that they're asking us to do don't actually make that much difference. Okay? So we see how the author builds that and goes from one piece to another there. Now, I'm just going to read the last part of this. In closing, I just want to tell all of the spoiled brat environmentalists to back off and let their parents make the decisions about the family's energy usage. They'll learn soon enough they can't save the world alone. So, what have we learned about our subject in this paragraph other than the fact that I would not want to meet the author, and the author sounds like kind of a jerk? What have we learned about the subject in this paragraph? What have we learned? Raise your hands. Angelique, wake up. You're clearly against a pillow. Wake up. Angelique, you're clearly against a pillow. Wake up. Raise your hands. What have we learned about the subject in this last paragraph? Jalissa Luna, what do you think? What have we learned? I'm gonna unmute you. It's gonna be dangerous. I'm scared, but I love you, and I know you're gonna do a great job. What is it? What have we learned here, dear?
I think we learned something about the point of view and not the subject.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the point of view does teach us about the subject, dear. So, what have we learned about that point of view?
The author is saying that she thinks that the parents should take control about the energy that's being used instead of the kids because they're not benefiting the community.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's strong. Jason Dixon, you wanted to add on? Go ahead, sir. Thanks, Jalissa.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jason Dixon.
What I had said was that what the last paragraph shows.
Yeah, what does the last paragraph show, bud?
The point of view of the author and how he and how he feels about the subject and how he's thinking that younger people shouldn't focus on it and that they should let their parents do the business.
Yeah, I think that's fairly accurate. What we're gonna do right now is we are just going to go through, since we have that main idea and it's very clear in terms of tone, we're just going to go through questions 1 and 2. I'm gonna go through 1, and then you'll go through 2, and then I'll launch you into independent practice, okay? And I'll send you the link so you can complete all your homework in class. There is one short response on this. Obviously, the only thing that you need to do is write a claim on it, all right? That's it. I need a claim, but remember, just as I said at the top of this, it needs to be your best effort on this. If I see people who are consistently getting zeros on this, that's obviously not your best effort because I know what your best effort is, okay? I need a reader for question number 1. Mr. Dixon, could you please just read it out for me, sir? Hold on. I'm unmuting you. I'm unmuting.
When you can't unmute me, it gives me the option to mute myself or unmute. So you just spammed me.
I know I did, bud. Thank you so much. I'm very excited about it. Could you just read, please? Thank you so much.
What is most likely the author's purpose in writing Think Before You Act?
Okay. What thinking job is this connected with, Jason?
Thinking job. Point of view.
Teacher point of view. Okay. So when we say this, we're going to be looking at our point of view. Definitely. All right. So, what would we say the point of view of this article is? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
The point of view would be that people can't go green alone. Like they can't help save the planet by themselves, that they're gonna need more than just them.
Yeah, and I think that there's also something against young people what do they say against young people, Jace?
That they should just let their parents do the work.
Yeah, they should let their parents decide, which I think is a terrible argument. But that's the argument that they present here. So looking at the answer choices, the only one that makes sense here is B. He wants to convince readers to leave environmental decision to their parents. Why is A wrong? Why is A wrong? Yeah, Lewis, why is answer choice A wrong for number 1?
Because they're not being cheerful.
Yeah. Oh, that's not true. It's not a really funny story, so that's just incorrect. Could you walk me through C and D as well?
Me?
Yeah, walk me through them. Why are those wrong?
Those are wrong because concerned. He's not really concerned. He's just saying that that children shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff at this point. And suspicious. There's nobody being suspicious because there's no one breaking the law.
Yeah, so Lewis, that was really good thinking through this in terms of process of elimination. What I want you to do always is you used a lot of tone words there. So you operated on like, all right, the tone is this, so they're not going to be suspicious. They're not going to be this, that, or the other. So make sure to keep doing that, sir. Right now, you're going to do question number 2. I'm just going to give you like 2 minutes, and then I'm going to give you 10 minutes to finish your homework once I send the Google form out. So 2 minutes silently, raise your hand. Actually, just 1 minute. Just raise your hand when you're done, okay? Or give me like the thumbs up signal on this or something like that. Deborah, I know that you've just received a message from someone or that someone texted you something funny or cute or heartwarming, but could you please just stay on target here? Thank you so much. Bud. That's by Deborah. Just a head shake. Arms in the air. All right. Just raise your hand as soon as you are done with question number 2.
I know you want that.
Silly kids and be a cat.
So I just unmuted that for the purpose of giving us an opportunity to see what people are actually doing during this. Right now, there shouldn't be any music playing in the background, and all you should be doing is answering question number 2. So Angelique, I know you were having a moral struggle with whether or not you are going to actually become a cat or not. Can you walk me through question number 2, though? That would be really helpful for me. So you're unmuted, dear. Walk me through question number 2.
Okay, so
Yes.
let me just go to the screen. Okay. Question number 2 says, what should the following describe think before you act? And I don't think it is. I don't think it's cheerful at all because, you know, from like the last question, we know that it's not a positive turn. And honestly, throughout the text, you can see that the author is sort of annoyed. So I'd say it's either B or C and not D because the author doesn't seem suspicious, but he seems more annoyed that the kids are trying to be hands-on.
Okay,
and
which one do you think it's more likely to be?
I think it's more likely
B or C?
Between B and C, I think that the author would be more annoyed than concerned because he was saying how they should just leave it to the adults and how he wasn't really concerned about it. He was just like trying to point it out, basically.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. So on these, the one thing that I would say, the one problem in terms of question work is just make sure that you are constantly focusing on going back to the main idea before approaching a question directly like that. You approached it a little too quickly, and this one was easy, so you could get it. But for ones where the answer choices are a little closer together, it might be very hard to do that if you don't go back to the main idea first. Now, that said, what I want us to do, we're going to take the last 8 minutes on this homework. I'm sending out the Google Forms right now. It is not the independent practice, guys. It is just this No More Excuses by Cedric Collins. That's what we're reading right now. I'll send out the Google Forms in just a second, just finishing it up. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Remember, in compare and contrast, they're most likely going to be about the same subject. So having the different points of view will help you understand the meaning of it. You are only going to do 3, 4, and 5. Those are the only questions that I have here. So get to work right now. And I hope you have a great weekend.